Tens of thousands of American troops are coming home from Iraq and Afghanistan and finding out just how tough it is to get a job right now.
So thanks to the GI Bill, many are going to school instead, and some of the best colleges are recruiting these veterans. Early show contributor Taryn Winter Brill recently met a group of Marines who are now part of the Ivy League.
I was a sergeant in the Marine Corps. I was an infantry assaultman. I served 3 tours in Iraq, including the initial invasion.
I was a corporal in the Marine Corps. I was stationed out of Okinawa, Japan.
I deployed 3 times to Iraq. I mainly worked in Ramadi and Fallujah.
I was a corporal and a combat correspondent and broadcast journalist in the Marine Corps, and I deployed once to Afghanistan.
All 4 of these Marines joined the Corps as teenagers, each enlisting while the country waged 2 wars in Iraq and Afghanistan.
The hardest combat was in my second deployment in Husaybah in 2004. We went in and shut down a smuggling town, basically. We started policing the border when the economy relied on smuggling from Syria. And so they weren't very happy with us. We didn't have a lot of friends.
Despite successes in the field of battle, the uncertainty of what lies ahead follows many troops home. But opportunity in the form of a college education has led this group of Marines to Columbia University and is offering Ivy League status to students like Kareem Delgado, who quit high school and questioned his own academic ability before enlisting in the military.
It took me a very long time to even apply to Columbia because I was afraid somewhere deep inside that maybe I wasn't actually good at academics.
The biggest challenge was kind of adjusting to this really intense academic environment after having, not sat in a classroom since high school.
We have a large existing community of veterans that goes back a number of years.
Columbia's Dean of Admissions, Curtis Rogers, is confident veterans in the student body can excel at the country's best institutions while also bringing a rich diversity to the college campus.
When you're putting together a class and you're thinking about the undergraduate composition, the undergraduate classroom experience, you want a diverse classroom experience. Veteran students bring life, career experience, service experience, and that's an important part of a classroom experience.
Why did you go into the military?
There were a lot of reasons for my decision to join the military. I wasn't exactly sure that I wanted to attend college right away. I was also patriotic. I come from a family that has military service as part of their history.
My father was a Marine. He served in Vietnam. And so I had this image of Marines as like the best citizens in the country. And so I wanted it to build my character.
I saw the Marine Corps as a way out of my own predicament. I grew up in Carroll City, which is kind of a lower income community in Miami, Florida. It's a desperate community at points, and if you wait in it long enough, it becomes you. So it was kind of escape from the environment, and I enjoyed it enough that I thought that's where I would be for the rest of my life.
There was a time in the Marine Corps when I just assumed I was gonna stay there, and I was gonna do that. I was gonna do my 20 years.
I too thought I would have a career of 20 years. I was interested still in school and college and academics, and I took classes while in the Marine Corps, but I never thought that I would give up active duty to become a full-time student again.
All are full-time students today because of programs like the GI Bill and a matching grant program from Veterans Affairs, which allows veterans to attend school without paying anything out of pocket.
The military and the Department of Veterans Affairs has been a launch pad of socioeconomic mobility for me.
There's no way I would have been able to afford to come to this school had I not received the GI Bill and the Yellow Ribbon program, and I can't be more grateful.
Nearly 400 student veterans currently attend Columbia University, the most in the Ivy League and one of the highest in the country.
Would you have reversed the order if you could have? If you could have gone to school first and then served, would you have?
I don't think so. I think that school wouldn't have had as much meaning for me.
What's your plan after you graduate?
Well, I'm ultimately interested in going into educational policy. I ended up being in a lot of humanitarian assistance and disaster relief efforts. And that made me recognize that what I thought was hopeless in my neighborhood was nothing compared to what people are experiencing in other countries.
Would you ever go back home?
I would. I'm actually very interested in going back to my neighborhood and teaching there.
None of the students here said they'd return to military service, yet all are determined to keep giving back to their country.
I'd like to stay at Columbia and go to Columbia Law School. I felt like I made a difference in the Marine Corps, and that's a difference that I want to continue to make.
Taryn Winter Brill, CBS News, New York.
Last year, Congress made changes to the GI Bill limiting government tuition payments to private schools like Columbia. For now, the university is making up the difference by increasing financial aid for veterans.
Which is nice to see.
So key. I mean, it's essential, and it's great to see that's happening.